All right, we're going to be talking about widgets now. In the video called modules or elements, I kind of got twisted up on the anchor module and promised that I would answer that question in the widget training. So I'm going to answer that right now. In that other video, we inserted an anchor, and I'll just go back here quickly here to elements, and I grabbed anchor and I dragged and I dropped it here where you see it now, and I named it sponsor. Now where I got twisted up, I didn't know um, where I could attach that. I forgot. But anyway, here we go. So I'm going to drag that anchor down to here. Oops, right there. And we called it sponsor, so it's now there. And we're going to go and add a little text here. I'm going to drag the text module in right above spending. We're going to go ahead and press a little edit pencil. We're going to say visit our sponsor. And now we're going to highlight this. And just like we were inserting links in other videos, I'm going to click the link button. And you'll see there's a little anchor right here. I'm going to go ahead and choose that. And you'll notice that I could have a lot of anchors all over the page, but I only have one here. I'm going to go ahead and click sponsor. We're going to go ahead and accept this. And I'm going to save this, save and continue. And then I'm going to publish this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to actually preview this page. And normally this goes quicker, but we have a limited bandwidth sometimes where we're located. So there we go. So it's published now. I'm going to go ahead and close this page. Actually, I'm going to show you something here. Let's watch this. So I'm stepping out of what this training is on, but that's okay. I'll show you something here. We're going to save and close this. We did publish it already. And you're going to notice here that you can see here navigation. All of these pages under navigation are available on the menu bar. And that means that if I go over here and start up a new tab, and I'll go to www.commerceassurity.com that we're using for this example. Go ahead and press enter. And you will see now that I'm at Commerce Assurity. And these are all of the buttons at the top here. Now, you'll notice that if I roll over them, nothing is dropping down. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and attach our testing page to this About page. So watch this. Because if you notice right now, Commerce Assurity is online, so I could connect a button to it and it will open it up. But I'm going to drag this calendar down. We don't use that calendar. But I want to drag this up to the menu. So I'm going to grab it with my left mouse. I'm going to click my left button and hold it down. I'm going to drag it up to the About right here. I'm going to drop it. And now what's happened, you'll see there's a little teeny tiny arrow thing here. And when you click on it, it shows you all the pages that are associated with About. So let's go here. We're going to go ahead and click, and I'm going to refresh commerceassurity.com. And you'll notice now that there's a little tiny arrow right to the right of the word About. And that's to indicate that there's more available. And there's our page, Commerce Training. So I'm going to click that. There's our page live on the internet. And see here, visit our sponsor. I'm going to go ahead and click that, and voila, it takes you right down to the sponsor page. So you can see anchors can be very useful because you can have a very long page and anchors that can drop you back and around the page. Really excellent. So we're going to go out of this page now and go back into our continued training specifically on widgets. And I'm going to go ahead and take this page that's called Commerce Training, and I'm going to drag it right back down here to online because I really don't want it available to the public while we're doing this. We're going to go ahead and click on it, and now I have that page selected, and I'm going to go to the bottom, and you'll see here there's edit page. I'm going back into the editing mode, and you can see now that I'm back where I'm supposed to be to show you how the widgets work. So, widgets, here we go. Contact form. Let's try that one. Contact form is fantastic. Watch this. So, let's say that you're building a page and you want people to ask you questions about, anything. So you can put a little heading up here. Let's just grab the heading again from text. We'll go here and drop that in, and I'll go ahead and click pencil, and I'll say, how can we help you? Okay, and let's say that you don't want this particular kind of text, so, or you want it smaller, so you can just change it here. Those are the different types. That one looks pretty good. Different types of styles for those, for the headlines. And now we touch on the form, and we want to go ahead and click the pencil because there's things that need to be changed. For instance, don't forget you need to have this go to an email address. So if you go support at freemembersupport.com, that's where it will be delivered. And then I always suggest you have a new contact request. I usually take this out and I put it right in the beginning, because if you have a subject line in your email client that's short, you won't know what the email is about, and then you got to dig deep. So I don't like that. So what I would do is I would put commerce, assurity, contact request. Okay, so now when you get that contact request, it will clearly show in your email. Now remember the rule of going and saving as you go. So I'm going to save and continue, and now we've saved it. It has not been published to the website yet, so you can go ahead and make changes to a page, and the page that's there now will stay until you actually publish it, and then it'll override it. So now we go back into widgets. You have calendar. We do not use the calendar. Blog posts. Beautiful blogging system built in. If you have the blog activated, then your headlines will show up. So you can drag this in, and you will find you can set this. Like if I click on the little pencil here, I can go down to category and actually say I want a certain category out of my blog to show, or I can go here to options and say that I want to show 5 or 10, whatever. Then I think, there we go, yeah, 3 to 15 is what you can set that for, number of posts, and that will just be the headlines. When they click on, it'll go straight to your blog. Now the blog is really fantastic for search engine optimization, and if you have like the latest news, for instance, and or things like that you spend a lot of quality time in developing. If you need something automated that works more like Twitter through like an information stream, we automate all that for you, and that becomes a news digest. It's really fantastic. You'll definitely want to find out about our news digest system. But if you if you spend a lot of time developing your news and curating the news, you want to use the blog for a lot of reasons, and we'll be happy to talk to you about that at support. So anyway, that's how that widget works. And then you have an iframe widget. Now this is pretty neat. So I talked about this earlier. Let me go down here to right above this sponsor banner, and let me go ahead and put in an iframe. And let's say that we want to bring in, let's see here, let me go into a system here. Bear with me just a minute, I gotta move this stuff around here. Actually, let me change this around a little bit. Let me just go here to yahoo.com, and what I'll do is I'll just grab a news link here. Actually, I can't do that, can I? So let me just go to news up here and see if that'll change. Yes, news.yahoo.com. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this, and I'm going to go into the editor, and I'm going to paste this URL, and I'm going to save it. And you will see here in a moment what will happen is I'll actually bring that page in to the site. I guess I'll have to go ahead and publish this. So save and continue. Let me go ahead and publish this. I think I remember the name of this page here. Let me just say commerce surety slash, and we have it right here, commerce training. Because remember, it's still online. Although I took this page out of the menu, it's still online. So now what we have is we're back in here. I'm going to refresh the page, and for some reason that URL did not work. Not sure why. So I'm going to go back in here. We're going to click on the little source link, and we will change this to, let's just change this to commerce control panel. Go ahead and save this. There we go. Now you're going to see it. Now it's going to have a scroll bar because we didn't tell it not to have a scroll bar. And I'll explain that in a moment, but then I'll adjust that so you can see how that's done as well, because nobody likes double scrollers in their websites. As you can see, the internet connection's a little slow again. Okay, we're going to go here. We're going to refresh this page we're using for training. And we're going to scroll up, and there we are. So you can see now this is the iframe widget, and you can see that you can just pull this down and you can look through the website, but you really don't want a double scroller. So I'm going to go ahead and fix that. Let's go back into the page editor. Let's click on the resize down here at the bottom, and we're going to go here and make this just 5,000, which is really long. But when I make it 5,000 in height, you can see here that there's no more double scroller. Actually, we want to make that much smaller. Let's go 1,500. See what happens. That looks like that might work. So 1,500. So you can see, you can get the idea of how the iframe works. Okay. So that's now in our page. We're going to go ahead and save this because we don't want to lose it, just in case. And I'll go ahead and publish. No, I won't publish. That'd take too long. So that's that widget. And then the other widget is, for instance, you have a code box. Now, code boxes are pretty interesting because this is where, let's say that we just go, let's go put that over here. What the heck? Now, we have a chance to put in a new code box, or if we already have code boxes in the system, we can select them. Let's go ahead and create a new code box, but not until we have the code that we want to use. So I'm going to go ahead here and get into our go into the chamber organizer system, and I'm in the wrong place here. Let me see if I can figure out how to move this around a little bit. It's not cooperating. Let's see here. Sorry about this. Let's get this set up here. Let's see if we can get some code. Let me think a minute here. If we go on Google and look for, let's say, raining code for a website. Who knows what we're going to get. Rain on page, HTML, class code, free code. Let's just see what happens here. Alright, so here's a little code right here. And I don't have any idea if this is going to work because I don't have any idea what this code is. For all I know, we'll get a virus, right? So we're going to select all, and I'm going to go now into my page editor. I'm going to create a new code box, and I'm going to paste the code in here. Oops, didn't didn't copy it. Let's go back and let me click in here and go control. Oops. Go ahead and Control C. That's not all of it though. Go up here to the top, grab the code box, and we're going to do Control C for copy. That's on a Windows machine. Control V. It's in there, and we're going to say who knows. But you know, if you don't try, you'll never know. So we're just going to try. See what happens. So we've got the code box saved. It's in the website. I'm going to go ahead and publish this information, and let's see if this code does anything at all. And it may not, but the point is that you can put code in using a code box, and there's a lot of code in our system. If you go to MMS configuration, and then what you do is you then go to system links and you scroll down, you will see an awful lot of code blocks in there, and you can grab them. Like if you want a real fancy member login, over here on the top right side of your website, you'll see there's member login code. You grab that code, you paste it in, and it works beautifully in here. So we're going to go ahead and refresh this page, and going to scroll up to the top, and we'll see if there's been anything in here at all. And nope, all we got is HTML free code, but we at least got that. So we go back to the page editor, we look at the widgets, and then there's a subscribe form. And this subscription form is something for a mail system that we don't really use because you have a free mail system in your back office operation. So we can assist you in setting up the subscription form code that you want to use, actually with a code box like this in your website if that's what you're looking to do. So this completes the widget module training.